So just allowing the upper body to stretch out. So letting the knees just hover here. Notice maybe any sensations around the backs of your your glutes, your thighs. You can have our eyes closed or just a soft gaze. And kind of just notice how it feels just using the relatively hard surface to lengthen the spine from the back of your head all the way to your tailbone. And then move gently into some small circles on the lower back. So circling on the upper part of your pelvis, the left kind of sitting bone, the tailbone, the right sitting bone. So just warming up here, taking it quite slowly, waking up the whole body before we kind of slowly increase the pace. So make the most of it before it picks up. And then just bring awareness to our breath. So on the inhale, extend your legs up towards the ceiling, your arms up overhead. And take a deep breath as you stretch your fingertips away from you, your toes up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, have your knees towards your chest, bring your hands all the way down towards the earth. So knees hover, hands on the floor. Inhale, lengthen, arms reach up and over, feet point up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale into the tops of your lungs. Exhale, hug your knees and bring your palms down. So then bring your awareness into probably equal length of inhale and exhale. So you can achieve that by perhaps counting the number of breaths it takes. Perhaps focus on maybe starting for a count of 3. 1, 2. And exhale. 1, 2, 3. So that allows you to slow down. Perhaps experiment with 4 or 5. So incorporating movement and breath while we are stretching the spine, our feet up towards the ceiling, slowly bringing length into the whole body. So inhaling, slowly reaching the arms up and overhead, and exhaling, hugging your knees back in and bring your palms almost down towards the earth. Lovely. So kind of the more you lengthen your breath, say to the count of 5. So your arms come up and over your feet, stretch up towards the ceiling, and then slowly you bring your arms down and you float your legs back towards your tummy. Lovely. Take 3 more here. And exhaling, bring your arms all the way down towards the earth, or your knees literally hover above your tummy. And once you finish those 3 breaths, those 3 breath cycles, have your knees in towards your chest. So holding onto your shins to your knees. So with twists, let's originate them from the core really. So that means we have to wake up our core. So draw your awareness to your navel, draw the navel down towards the earth. Your lower back flattens into the earth. Hold that contraction of your muscles, but continue to breathe. And then slowly release. So coming back into that natural curve. Exhale, draw that navel in as your lower back makes kind of proper contact with your mat. Holding it here. Maybe feel the shoulders slightly lift. Then release the shoulders down by holding that contraction in those deepest muscles around your spine. And inhale, soften, rocking, letting the body almost, the spine rock back towards natural curves. 2 more times here, draw the navel in, hold. Begin to lift your head as you look towards your thighs. Continue to breathe while the lower back presses into the earth. Sorry, I should have said the feet are on the floor. And slowly release the upper body down, softening the belly. So feet on the floor, draw the navel in. Lower back flattens. Lift your head as you look towards your towards your thighs. Bring your chin a little closer towards your chest so there's no strain on your neck. Continue to breathe as you hold, drawing the navel in, down, and then soften. So adding on from here, let your legs hover again above your stomach. The chin's about parallel to the earth. So number one, draw the navel in, flattening the lower back into the earth. And then bring the right big toe towards the earth, kind of toe taps, tapping down. Bring the foot back to center, tap the left foot down, and bring it back up. So kind of toe taps. At all times, your lower back is engaged, pressing into the earth. So traveling here through those kind of core engagements. One more toe tap. And then bring both feet down. Settle into a neutral spine. Maybe a little bit of wiggling. So we're strengthening the core. So draw the navel in again. Lift your legs, let them hover. The whole, or the lower back, the mid back makes contact with the earth. Toe taps here as well. Maybe attempt to bring those toes a little bit further away from you. So as if you're walking towards the front of your mat. So there's a slightly deeper engagement. So hold the contraction, but also breathe through it. So don't hold your breath. Even the pelvic floor gets engaged with the toes a little further away from the body. One more on each side. And bring your feet down. Soften. Windscreen wipe your legs from side to side. So arms can be alongside the body. So softening here the lower back, your core. So doing one more of those sets. Draw the navel in, flatten the lower back, lift your knees parallel, and hold that contraction, begin to tap your toes. Maybe you want to even aim your toes a little bit further away. So explore here, keeping the knees kind of softly bent. Don't lose that connection of your lower back. Maybe it springs back to its natural curve. So it's kind of a very subtle sensation. Good. Don't forget to breathe as you continue to settle. And bring your feet down to the outside edges of your mat, please. Arms can be wide up, palms facing up, and just let your legs flop from side to side. Bring your head in the opposite direction. So twisting not just through the lower part of your spine, but also through the highest bit, where the neck kind of is connected to your spine, the top of your spine. Lovely. 2 more breaths, allowing the shoulders to soften. And then roll over to one side, and we're coming into seated position. So coming to 99 position. So start by having your feet parallel, kind of out in front of you, and then swing your feet towards the left side. So find that, find the flexion in your knees that feels accessible. So some of us might sit a little closer together. Some of us might have knees a bit further apart. So allowing yourself to kind of just explore, you perhaps bring your arms up and over, a little bit of a side bend. So seeking that length and then stretching through the side body. So it's not how we sit every day. We probably hardly sit that way, but it's nice to just bring the body in different areas to sit. So over time, it feels easier. It might feel loosening up a little bit. And then begin to explore. Perhaps you lean forward a little bit. kind of move from one side to the other. So the floor is always getting good clean before we actually have our yoga session. You can even look over your shoulder. If you do that, and in terms of a twist, keep the spine nice and long. So always lengthen the spine first, and then kind of come into that rotation where you just look over your shoulder literally. Perhaps you can bring the opposite arm, as if you want to give yourself a hug, to that opposite shoulder as well. So keep it soft. Notice how you slowly, which felt a little bit maybe uncomfortable to start with, it feels a little more familiar. So that's a nice hip opener as well. You can always come back to those arm sways, arm swings. So maybe you want to even lift up as you bring your right hand down, lift up, stretch your hips forward, lengthening through that top arm and coming back down. So perhaps exploring it, maybe the opposite arm swing. Just see how you get on with different unfamiliar movements. So just spend a little bit more time with that experiential, explorative movement. Good. Lovely. So it helps to bring softness into the body. Good. Finish those kind of strange movements on one side, then just kind of roll back, bring your knees up towards the ceiling, do all that kind of centering, neutralizing. Good. And we have two sides. So then swing your legs around to the right side. Again, might take a couple of moments to find the posture to start, to find your starting position. Also notice, it actually feels easier, it feels more complicated, feels more restricted. And again, just explore. You can bring your arms up and over. So one side always feels more tricky, or a little trickier than the other one. Lean forward, kind of explore. And whenever you come into something that feels like rotation, lengthen the spine first, keeping the length, and then perhaps just the last little bit where you look over your shoulder. And you can lean forwards. Kind of insect, animal, lizard, I don't know. Looking on your shoulder, bring the opposite hand as well. So notice just the difference even that arm makes as you just turn around. Perhaps lift up if you're ready, if it feels accessible. Lifting up, stretching your hips, your thighs, knees, and then coming back into that. Leaning forward so there's no right or wrong. Gentle hip opener. And then begin to come back to your roll back beginnings. And from the transition over onto our heads. So we are having a slight with hands underneath your knees, so hands under your shoulders, curl your toes under, lift your knees just off the floor, hover here, maybe even just kind of rock just a little forwards and backwards. So the knees are just the upper body, the spine almost parallel, engaging the thighs and also the core. Soften your knees down, uncurl your toes and rounding your spine, coming into cat posture. So inhale, soften, looking forward, so rounding your spine, dropping your chin towards your chest. One more, lifting your chest, and so rounding your spine. Stay in that posture for a couple of breaths, and round it by pushing the floor away from you. Maybe walk your hands a little bit closer towards your knees, lifting up from the shoulders. Perhaps you want to come to fingertips. You're shifting the weight slightly back, lengthening for your upper back, your tailbone. And slowly curl on your hands back to neutral. Gently wiggling through your spine. So you move over your left shoulder, your right shoulder. Lovely. So we are rocking up into downward dog. So I'm going to show you first, depending how many rocks you have, almost slowly in stages, lifting your body up towards the ceiling. So have the movement here. And then eventually coming up into downward dog, petting your feet, stretching out your calves. So that core engagement here, having your feet about hip distance apart, that gives you maybe a little bit more leeway. So you can decide how many stages you're kind of swaying through in between, and eventually bring that bottom up. So it creates strength for your core, also strength for your arms. When you're down dog, just pedal it out, stretching out for your calves. And then make your way down. Just bring your knees down and perhaps settle here into child's pose of your choice. So it can be, your bottom can be up a little bit higher. Your bottom can be all the way back. Bring your knees wider as well. Arms forward, head on the floor, head on your palms. Just assessing what feels most comfortable, also depending on your energy levels. So a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose, acknowledging how the body feels. So with your next breath, slowly come back up to tabletop. So we are rocking up once more that shift. So begin by curling your toes under, lift your knees, engage through your abdominals, keeping your spine in line with your neck, and begin to just rock up here. Maybe you want to come straight up, maybe you just kind of take it in stages and eventually lengthen. As you stretch out your upper back. Maybe crisscross your legs if you want, so stretching also for your for the backs of your thighs. Wiggling through your bottom side to side. Good. And from here, slowly find your way back into tabletop and rest for child's pose. So perhaps stretching out, putting your arms forward, maybe all the way back. So whatever feels accessible and is actually restful. Notice the air flowing in through your nose and out through your nose or through your mouth. Okay. One more breath. And then slowly come back up to tabletop. So bring length into the side body. Shift your weight into your left hand. Right arm reaches forward. Engage your belly as well. Big arm circle. And then bring your right hand into the left corner, shifting the bottom towards the right side. You can rest your forehead on your left palm on the left forearm. So keeping your elbows lifted, your armpit lifted, that lengthens, that stretch even more. The more you can also come onto fingertips, spider fingers. If you do it, it kind of brings another intensity to that stretch. One more breath. And then slide your head back to tabletop, a little wiggle. Shift your weight into your right hand, engage your abdominals so you kind of are supported. Left arm reaches out, big arm circle. Take it back and then bring your left hand to the right corner of your mat. Shifting the bottom towards the left, heel towards the left side of your leg. Rest your forehead, perhaps come into spider fingers. Bringing length into the left side. Send that breath into the left side so you can direct it with visualization. And then slide your left hand back to tabletop. So we are coming up to standing. You can either rock again in stages up to downward dog, or you can come straight up to downward dog as we are eventually coming up to standing. So pick what works for you, for your energy level. If you're downward dog, you can carry your foot, you can lift one leg up, so it's a little bit more free exploration again. As you bend your knee, maybe that's kind of the dog's tail, as if you just lengthen it, bend your knee, which gives you a little bit more length. Change the side cut. And then bring your feet down, walk your hands towards your feet, and slowly roll that curl up to standing. From shoulders back. Good. So we're moving through two rounds of sun salutation. I'm going to give you an option. So as we go down, once I talk you through, you have to downward dog. So option number one is you bring the knees down and you lower. Option number two is from downward dog, you shift forward into plank and then lower down, either knees down or down in one piece. So these are the options. And choose according to your energy level, please. Right, from here, standing forward, hand thumbs forward, turn your thumbs up to the side, back, opening through the chest, staying here for 2 breaths. So bring that length into your front body, but at the same time drawing your shoulders back, paying attention to the posture. 1 more breath. And rise your arms up towards the ceiling. Bend your knees as you bring your arms forward, all the way forward, slowly lower down. Release your neck, relax the neck, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, falling forward, hands down to downward dog. Stay for 2 breaths in downward dog, please. Well, it's a moving downward dog, a little bit more still downward dog. Optional, you can bring your knees down or roll forward into plank. So if you're on plank, assess whether you want to lie down, come down one piece, or also knees, and then slowly lower onto your belly. Stretching out your toes, hands underneath your shoulders. Kind of just set yourself up to lengthen. Roll the shoulders back as you lift up, engaging through your lower back. Now we exhale, lower down. Twice more. Roll the shoulders back as you lift up. Look over your left shoulder and your right shoulder. And lower. So elbows hug your ribcage. Last one, you roll the shoulders back, lift up. So perhaps small bend in your elbow. It's a little bit more strength. Exhale, lower. Take a moment to lengthen. Bring your forehead perhaps down, lengthen through the upper back. Press into your hands, tabletop, and downward dog. So 2 breaths, perhaps nod your head, shake your head, say yes, say no. So in 3 movements here as well. And then begin to walk your hands back towards your feet and slowly roll up and curve. Lower back, mid back, upper back, shoulders. Good. So similar sequence, slightly different when we are on the floor. So instead of lifting up into cobra, we are kind of doing a little bit of a supported locust. So the arms lift as well as your head lift, and then you can bring one ear down. So inhale and lifting up. Avoid bringing the head up, so keeping the head in line with your spine. And exhale and the opposite ear. You can choose options again, whether knees down or via plank. Arms out to the sides, palms reach back, lengthen, feel perhaps that length through the crown of your head as you're taller. Inhale, reach up, palms are parallel, begin to bend your knees, shift the bottom back, fold forward. Halfway lift. Good. Exhale, fold forward, hands down, downward dog. Stay in 2 breaths. And from here, either bring your knees down or roll into plank. Lower down. The hands are underneath your shoulders. So, doing 4 of these, 2 on each side. On the inhale, lift your legs, lift your chest, your shoulders. And over here, exhale, bring your left ear down towards the earth. Inhale, lift. You can also keep your hands hovering if you wish. Exhale, lower, right ear comes down. So instead of having palms down, you can also lift your palms. Twice more, inhale, lift, hover. Exhale, left ear down. Inhale, lift once more. Continue to breathe into your belly. Exhale, right ear comes down. Stay for 3 breaths, maybe wiggle through your bottom, releasing any tension from your lower back. Good. And then slowly begin to shift up into tabletop, downward dog. Any 3 movement, maybe legs up, 1 leg lifts, maybe bending your knee. And begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Slowly rolling up. Stand. So I'm curling vertebra to vertebra. So getting into the twist now. Focus on your core when we get to that stage. Step forward with your left foot, please. So both feet point forward. Keep your right heel lifted. Hands can rest on your hips. And then find just the right stance, keeping the back leg relatively straight so the knee is straight. Good. You can bring your arms in here as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly bring your arms down. So finding that length and also the breath of equal lengths again. Lengthening. Good. So we're beginning to move into the twist now. So arms up on the inhale. On the exhale, begin to bend your left knee. Bring your right arm forward, your left arm back as you open towards the left side. Good. Inhale, come back to center, reaching up. Core engaged. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Lovely. So you always turn towards your inner thigh. You turn towards your inner thigh. That's it. So left knee forward, the opposite arm forward, literally. We are looking towards that side. Inhale, twice more, lengthening. Exhale, you look this way. Lovely. Last one here, inhale, lift. And exhale, this way. Stay here. Activate your core. Good, balancing. Twisting. And then release your arms down. Transition into downward dog. Stepping back, maybe a little wiggle. Shake your neck, shake your head. Perhaps feel maybe there's a bit of a more restricted side, maybe one side is more open, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Oh, slowly rising up. Good. So the second side, we're literally, when we twist, we look this way. So I'm just changing side. So step forward with your right foot, please. Both feet point forward, lift through your left heel. And then just find that opening through the left hip. So just kind of warming up. Also finding that balance. Keep your eyes pointed on one spot in front of you. So literally your legs move quite automatically. Then bring your arms in as well. So inhale, lengthen. And exhale, slowly lower. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, slowly lower down. So the moment you move your eyes, that kind of keeps the balance, kind of shifts the balance a little bit. Lovely. So the next time we bring our arms down, begin to bend your right knee, left arm reaches forward, right arm back as you look over your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back into that twist. Good. Coming back up. Exhale. Twist. Good. 2 more times here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Stay here for 2 breaths. Holding the posture a little bit more, which literally twisting from your core. Bring your upper torso forward, your arms come back. Lean forward, transition to downward dog. So perhaps shifting your bottom from side to side. So a couple of breaths. And then kind of walk your feet, this time your feet towards your hands. Bending your knees as you get to your hands. Hold onto your opposite elbows and just allow yourself to hang out here for a few breaths. So forward fold. You can sway, kind of dangle from side to side. Bit of a stretch for your right side, for the right side, for the left side of your waist. Good. And release your arms and slowly curl up to standing. Oh, good. Whew. Balancing pose. You step your left foot over your right foot. So you can stay here, bring the palms together, and even have a soft bend in your knee. If you want to progress from here, you can lift, you can slide that leg up over your knee, begin to bend your standing leg. So again, keeping that focus, perhaps gentle pressure for your hands. If you want, you can also let go of your arms, perhaps any movement. So finding, you can even lean forward. So explore different variations, even when you have your foot or feet on the floor. Good. Strengthen that standing leg. Lovely. And then slowly come back out. Take out your feet. Good. Second side. So the right foot steps over your left foot or whichever foot you started with. So you can stay here, perhaps even just lifting your legs slightly. So even just here, so we are holding that posture. Or slide it up and then Sit in your invisible chair. Good, again, focus with your eyes. Once you feel stable, you can use your arms in a very creative way. Use the body as you focus on that balance. Good. So whatever that looks like. And very slowly coming back out of your posture. So, having your feet, you can stay just facing the shortage of your mat. Bring your hands behind you, make a fist, or if a fist feels uncomfortable, hold on just to your fingers, having a soft bend in your elbow. If you clasp your fingers, draw your fists away from you. Shoulders reach back, leading with your chest, begin to lean forward. It's a bit like a swan dive. Remain parallel to the floor, squeezing the shoulders back. Bring your head in line with your spine. If you want, lean further forward, perhaps bring the arms up. Otherwise, keep your hands perhaps on your lower back as you soften strong standing legs. Good. Perhaps nodding your head, say yes, say no. And then release your hands also towards the floor. You can hold onto shins, to thighs. And then begin to kind of a bit like a windmill. So you bring opposite hand to opposite foot to opposite shin, thigh, whatever you can reach. So we're kind of windmilling our arms and crossing over. Gentle twist. Lovely. And then bring the movement back to stillness and slowly roll up to standing. How does maybe tired shoulders, perhaps tired, perhaps energized. So with your next breath, open your eyes again if you had them closed. We're transitioning towards the floor, one variation for downward dog, which you can explore, you don't have to. So in downward dog, having the feet one end over and take it to the outside, maybe even have a little bit of a twist in the upper body, so you're pressing into that opposite leg. So twisting, join the left shoulder perhaps towards the right side. Over and down. You can also just kind of tap. So that's just as an exploration. From the back of your mat, we all into child's pose. So you can come straight onto child's pose if you wish. You can, there's no competition or check what works for you. But just rolling down, rolling forward. Stay for 2 breaths. Perhaps you want to try that crossing over. Even if that kind of step 1, you cross over, step 2, maybe you just press that hand a little bit more into the outside of your thigh, your shin, your ankle. Good. And then eventually find your way onto your knees and into restful child's pose, please. And direct your breath into kind of different parts of your body. So direct them into the upper part of your lung, the back of your lung. Direct your breath into kind of the lower ribs, the front, the sides, the back of your lower ribs. And then direct your breath into the belly button area. Also front, side, back. So it's perhaps just a way where you feel maybe a slight feedback, biofeedback from your body. So one more full breath. And exhale, soften. Slowly rise up and come into seated position, please. Have your feet stretched out in front of you, your hands reach back, fingertips can be out to the sides, can face forward. So we are rolling the shoulders forward as we are lifting through the chest. So that's probably when you here may want to adjust your hands depending on how it feels. So we are kind of lifting that rib cage forward. Perhaps bring your chin towards your chest, looking towards your knees. And softening here. So we bring that rib cage forward. So it's a kind of a back bend, aiming more at the rib cage towards the spine. Perhaps feel a sensation through those arms and then soften again. Last one, you roll, kind of shoulders back, lifting the chest. And from here, slowly kind of walk your fingers, come to your fingertips, walk your hands towards your bottom. So keeping the length in your spine, perhaps your fingertips lift you up. So how does that feel sitting quite upright? Keep your head more parallel, maybe flex your toes. So using the arms forward to the pelvis doesn't drop, so you're leaning forward. Keep walking with your kind of fingers towards the front of your thighs, keeping the chest lifted, almost like a swan dive as we're coming forward. Maybe it's here already enough, so your hands push back to give you that lift forward. Softening here. You can attempt to lean forward. Keep that length in your spine as you lead with your chest. And breathe. Good. Settling the upper or the head of the weight of your head. 2 more breaths. And slowly lifting up again. So a couple of options for that hamstring stretch. You can cross your right foot over. You can bend your right knee and place. So you swing that right heel towards your left hip, so it kind of rests here instead of having standing up. So you bring it all the way back, so using the weight of your right thigh and then leaning forward. So you can keep the feet crossed as well as same sensation. Wherever you are, keep your upper body long and begin to lean forward. So you know where to stop depending how it feels in the body. So softening with your breath into the pose. So especially the exhale. The exhale may give you just a slight kind of floating down, perhaps just a couple of millimeters where you feel you're moving closer towards the earth. So you're stretching the hamstrings. You can always give you that lift with your hands lifting forward. So it's very small sensation, very subtle sensation, but with quite deep impact. Lovely. One more breath. And slowly coming back out of the posture. So from here, moving straight into a twist, depending how you had your legs, you can keep your legs here, this time standing up, so crossing it over. You can slide your right leg back and just keep it parallel. So So whatever you choose, it's the same kind of posture. Keep your hand back again, walk it back in so you have that length. And then turn your upper body towards the inner thigh. So you can hug your elbow around your knee. Once more, keep that length through your spine. And then last bit that turns is really your head looking over your shoulder. So right foot helps you to support that twist. You can use that left arm as a little bit as a lever to keep that length. And then looking over your right hand, over your right shoulder. Lovely. One more breath. And then slowly uncross, uncurl, turning back. Release your legs. So second side, I'm crossing the opposite foot over, or keeping it here. So whichever you choose, have your hands also back, and then begin that forward fold. If you have your knee crossed over, just stay clear of putting any pressure on that knee joint on the floor. So keeping the spine nice and long, lovely long backs. And breathe through those rather intense feelings. So almost the longer you make that exhale, the easier the body starts to adjust. You can use your hands almost slight lift, perhaps as if you're lifting your sitting bones off the floor. And then slowly release into that posture. Again, we're just talking very small movements. So. Two more breaths. And slowly coming back out of the posture. So adjust your foot. You can keep it here, here. So have your left hand perhaps back, almost leaning back, and then walk your hands in. So you keep that length in your spine, and then slowly from your belly button, begin to turn and look over your left shoulder. So as you continue to breathe here, seek with every inhale that length through the crown of your head. Exhale, perhaps just twist 1 millimeter more towards the left side. Two more breaths. So those twists help neutralizing the spine. And very slowly return back to neutral. And cross your feet and even lean back. And I'll let your feet forward. And then shift your bottom towards your heels as you well-deserved roll onto your back, holding onto your knees, your thighs, your shins. So just notice how you feel, what hamstrings feel, your core, any other parts in your body. So maybe you just want to kind of stay here, hugging the knees, lengthening, breathing. So from here, moving into a final twist, extend that left leg away from you as you hold on to your right knee. Perhaps just hug your right knee a little closer towards your chest. Softening, then hover here. And with your left hand, guide your right knee over to the left side as you come into that twist, and then roll your right shoulder back towards the earth. Your left hand can remain on your left thigh. Maybe you wish to turn your gaze towards the right arm. So your right palm can face up, that opens the shoulders, the right shoulder bone. Good. Bring that breath into that kind of pretzel type of twist, release. Stay for a few more breaths. And then very slowly roll back onto your back. So you can extend that right leg away from you, hug your left knee in. Kind of just stay with that sensation for a couple of breaths. Lengthening through the right hip flexor. You can keep the right leg on the floor. Just softening here. And then from here, guide your left knee with your right hand over towards the right side. And then you turn your left shoulder back towards the earth. Have your left palm facing up. So bring the shoulder, releasing the shoulders down. Switching off the light. Soften with every breath into that posture, into that twist, kind of knowing it's quite cleansing, neutralizing. And then very slowly roll back into your neutral position on your back. Maybe hug both knees in towards your chest to kind of bring yourself back to center. And then from here, settle into your version of relaxation, whether it's on your side, on your back, socks, knees, jumpers, socks. Soften the whole weight of your body into the earth. Shoulders soften. Bring happiness into your body. Let go of any holding. Just allow your muscles to release. The breath quite freely through the whole body. Feel the rising, perhaps in your chest, in your stomach. Falling and softening. Exhale. maybe temperature, your breath in your nostrils, maybe movement in your body. Feel the whole body grounding down as the soles of your feet up in your ankles. Legs, thighs. Release any holding your abdominals. Chest, heart center. Quality of heaviness into your arms, your shoulders. From your neck, some side to the neck. Soften all the muscles in your face. Unhinge your jaw.
slowly and gradually invite deeper breaths back into your body. Let your fingertips, your toes, your feet may rock your head from side to side. Perhaps stretch the arms up overhead, stretching from fingertips to toes. Hug your knees back into your chest. Perhaps roll over onto one side. Stay there for a breath or two. And slowly lift up into any. Bring once more breath into the body. Lengthen, rise up. Carve all the good stuff. And then bring it back into your heart center. Balance. Stay. Keep joining. So next week, last week was a bit of a Christmas special.